Joudan Sokutogeri! Joudan Sokutogeri! Joudan Sokutogeri! Welcome back to another episode of Amazing Animation Analysis. In today's episode, we'll look at Street Fighter 3. Street Fighter 3 is a one-on-one fighting game created by Capcom. The most popular version is called Third Strike, Fight for the Future, and was released in arcades in 1999. It's known for its precision gameplay, and also its amazing pixel animation. You got the parries, the throws, the special moves, and even the idle animation is awesome. He ain't doing nothing, and it's amazing. And it doesn't just look good. More importantly for a game, the animation feels good too. When you hit someone, it just feels so BAM! But how does it work? Why does it feel so amazing when your attack hits? That's what we'll analyze in today's episode. Now there's one attack that, to me, feels the most amazing when it hits. And that's Ryu's Joudan Sokutogeri. For this attack, I'll look at the frames, weight, energy, impact, and enemy reaction to get deep into its inner workings. We'll see why not only this attack feels so amazing, but why Street Fighter Third Strike still has one of the most amazing pixel animations to date. To analyze Ryu's attack without distractions, we'll separate him from the rest of the game. We'll look at the key poses first. Those are just the poses that are needed to make the attack work. Animators will draw these first, and afterwards fill in the rest of the attack. The key poses are the standing pose, jumping to one foot, the kick, and back to the standing position. Just seeing these frames already makes it feel quite powerful, especially these two frames. You can clearly see where the weight and the energy transfers to. The feeling of weight is very important to making something feel impactful, according to animation legend Richard Williams. And to feel weight, we need to know how much energy is needed to move something, to change its directions, or to stop its movement. In just the key poses, we can already see Ryu going forward, leaning his weight backwards to stop his body from moving, in order to transfer all the forward momentum into the kick. So the key poses already work, but the entire animation is so much more powerful. Let's look at each frame and see exactly how it's done. In the first frame, Ryu shifts his body to the right. His hips are leading the action and the right leg is anchored to the ground. Going in with the hips is key for big motions. It's where the heaviest point in your body is. He's already turning his body in anticipation for the kick, giving his body a twist. His forward momentum makes him bend slightly forward. In the next frame, his back leg shoots to the right, evening out the weight distribution. Ryu pushes his body up with his toes, which will start a short hop. What's cool about this frame is that he also opens up his arm, which opens up his body, giving him more movement and upwards momentum. Having the arm stay down like this would feel a lot less powerful. In the next frame, Ryu releases his left leg from the ground. He's committed to the hop and right now there's a lot of forward energy. What's really interesting is that the left leg lags behind. This will make the kick more powerful, because the distance the leg travels is larger. His torso starts bending downwards, already moving his weight to the left. The next frame is a copy that pushes him forward. Then we arrive at the key frame. Just this frame sells the power so well. We've already talked about him stopping the forward momentum of his body, so he can transfer the energy into the kick. But there's another reason his torso is starting to bend down. Its downwards momentum is starting to counter the upwards momentum of the leg. More on that later. All these frames, Ryu is moving in with the heaviest part of his body first, the hips. The next frame, Ryu pushes his leg forward and he starts leaning in with his hips and his heel, getting better footing on the ground and adding more weight. The next frame is what seals the deal. All the energy of the forward momentum gets transferred to the end of his foot. He kicks so hard that the rest of Ryu's body snaps forward. What gives his kick extra oomph is the torso that moves downwards while his foot moves upwards. All muscles are tightened and he uses his hip as a hinge. This way, the weight of his torso is being added to the kick. By moving the torso down and straightening out his leg, Ryu snaps into place faster and harder. The smear frame of the foot does a good job of overshooting the frame, giving it extra snap. The smear also makes the foot blurry, conveying more speed. Speaking of the foot, his other foot is facing directly away from where he's kicking. This adds torque and better balance to the kick. Having the foot facing the front would not feel powerful at all. Ryu's arm punches forward as well, adding to the counterweight and setting us more on the torque. Also, it's a very karate-like pose, in which the arm and the leg are being thrusted forward at the same time, as seen in Ryu's jumping kick. In the next frame, the leg snaps back and the torso drops, settling the energy. Also, he keeps scooting forward, making the kick feel heavier. It's as if the kick is pulling the rest of his body forward. In the next frame, Ryu settles into the key pose, moving his body down and his leg up, further emphasizing that Ryu is tightening his muscles, the body being in a straight line. He turns, drops his leg, and with a lot of control eases himself back into a standing position. When we look at the animation again, we see the energy being transferred, the hop pushing the body forward, the leg taking it over, beginning low and ending high. The natural twist of his torso adds torque, which adds extra energy and snap. The counterweight of his torso pushing his leg up harder. This is a powerful kick indeed, but it's sold most when it hits. When the kick hits, the enemy staggers between two frames, a momentary freeze in the action, letting the impact linger. the enemy shakes, taking in all the force. The force is transferred and the enemy flies off, almost the full length of the screen. When the enemy lands, there's a satisfying screen shake, making the body feel heavy. What's also satisfying is seeing the enemy fly off while Ryu is still in his kicking pose, kind of like those old kung fu films. And finally, the effects feel strong too. It's like an explosion of energy. The energy erupts from the hit, coming towards the camera, making it feel grand. So what makes this attack feel so good? All in all, it's the slow wind-up, the excellent transfer of energy and weight, the big explosion of the energy, and the huge distance the enemy travels. It's a risky move. Has a low chance of actually hitting, but when it does, it's like BAM! BAM! And cross count! No. That's it for this episode. This is episode 2 of the 8 scheduled for August. If you don't want to miss anything, subscribe and hit that bell. And if you like amazing animation analysis, consider becoming a patron. It would help a lot. Thanks for watching and see you on Monday. Bye bye!